of you.
Well, hi there. Good afternoon. This is Home Wizards. We love to help you improve your home and improve your life.
Listen to the Sandemians. Ray just going crazy in the audience.
We are broadcasting live from the Pacific Sales in San Dimas. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole here. And hopefully, if you're in the area, you can come by and say hi because we have 2 hours of fun to talk about things that we hope will enhance your experience when you come to that place you call home. When you walk in the door, we like to make it that experience, whether it's an apartment or a bigger place. You just feel relaxed and it's good.
That's right, especially in light of the fact that it is Halloween. It's coming upon us. We have pumpkins here, everybody. Round of applause for these great designs, right?
We're going to talk about pumpkin carving. We've been carving for the past couple of hours, and overnight you get your kids involved with the project, and we have some fun ideas for design and lights and so forth. But while we're here at Pacific Sales, where we're surrounded by all of these new innovations and appliances, as you know, for those of you who listen to Home Wizards, you know that I'm in the middle of a kitchen remodel. We're now into our 4th week. And you can see the videos and the photos if you go to cindykitchenproject.com. Are you pretty impressed that 4 weeks we've made it so far?
I have been a general contractor for 25 years. I have never seen a kitchen go faster. Now I'm beginning to question my own ability.
Well, I'm sure that it definitely has to do with having a general contractor and a kitchen designer who are focused on your project, right? Because
I also think there's something to do with the fact that they know they're on camera.
They know they're on camera.
They're showing up with their hair combed. They've got nice clothes on. Their pants are pressed.
Well, Jan, the contractor, by the way, wears her heels as she goes up on the ladder, which I love.
I never wore heels unless I was asked or
But
paid.
in the whole process of thank you for clarification.
No worries.
But when you come up with the whole dreaming of a kitchen, there's so many decisions that you have to make, and appliances are a big one. Right up there with cabinets and countertops are the appliances. And so we thought we'd talk with a guy who has been in the appliance business for well over a decade, Josh Redditch, and he happens to be the West Coast area sales manager for GE. So great to have you here, Josh.
Thank you very much.
Wait,
Great to be here.
hold it. Round of applause for Josh.
Josh.
Come on, everybody.
Yay.
This is Josh here.
So, Josh, when you go into the whole kitchen experience and you want to be surrounded by not only something that's going to help you be a great cook, but help you experience family moments together so you always feel like you're a success. When you come home from work and you're tired and you don't know what the heck you're going to have for dinner, somehow you're going to pull something out of the refrigerator and put something in the oven. It's going to be fantastic. And it's that kind of a thing that we want. And so when we're in the whole decision process, what are we looking for first in terms of innovation, convenience, speed, taste?
Well, definitely you want to make sure you do your research before you actually even go out looking for anything. Kind of find out what other people have seen out there and what the websites have to offer. But I think for the most part, you want to make sure that it fits your lifestyle. It's a big lifestyle choice depending on how often you use the appliances or how much time you have between the decision on when you're going to eat and what you're going to eat.
Which is every 5 minutes for Eric.
That's correct. With 3 kids, pretty much most of my life is
the refrigerator's always open.
It revolves around a microwave and beef jerky. For the most part. So, yeah, that's.
Then we do have a product for you.
Okay.
But for the most part, I think also aesthetics, what it looks like, if it makes sure that they match your style. A lot of different things go into the decision making on appliances.
But step one is definitely how you use your kitchen, right?
Definitely.
Because some people like to have a beautiful kitchen and then they go get Chinese takeout, right?
Exactly.
Or just warm up a frozen lean cuisine or something, right?
Definitely.
And to Josh's point, it's a great idea because here at Pacific Sales, there's so many different varieties of things for you to purchase and integrate into a kitchen system. So without that research, before you even step foot in a store, it's a little bit overwhelming. I think the layout here is great, but having said that, it's very difficult to really focus on what you really need.
Well, more and more today, people are actually entertaining in the kitchen. Back in the day, we used to have houses were built with family rooms, dining rooms, and then, the kitchen. It was all walled off. Well, now
gosh, that's what our kitchen was. Have you seen our before kitchen? It totally was that. It was like a cave.
Yes, exactly.
Where there was the wall here, and the cabinet came down so low, there was barely a foot gap where you could welcome people.
Imagine a closet with a venting system.
Yeah.
That was basically the kitchen.
But that was because in that period, in the 70s or even earlier, probably the 50s and 60s, people wanted to have privacy and not show what you're cooking, right? Like your mom did that. Oh, my gosh, don't let them see.
Shut the door. The Yorkshire pudding hasn't risen. If it was that whole
Somehow
thing.
you're going to be a
Yeah.
failure, but
Right.
now it's all about, come on, everybody, let's participate.
Exactly. Hence the great room, as they
Right.
call it,
Right.
with a bar, and you might have a flat panel television like we see right here.
Right? Have your computer set up, your laptop,
Exactly.
your tunes.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I find again too, the 3 kids under 13 in my life and all their friends, all we do is sit in the kitchen and talk.
And you have the bar stools
and we
right
have this
there.
huge property, and there's all this great stuff to do in trampoline, and everyone's crammed in the kitchen.
Because it feels good.
It's the heart of the home. Yeah.
So if you are going to try to create that vibe, you want to be smart about the kind of appliances that you select, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm guessing you hear from people who bought the wrong kind of appliances.
All the time.
And what do they say?
Well, they say that they didn't do proper research. Maybe they weren't as concerned with performance. Maybe they wanted something to look good, and they didn't research whether it was a performing product or whatever.
And what do you mean by performance?
Well, like we were talking about your appliances earlier, the Café, and that's what we're talking about today. But for example, it has a 20,000 BTU burner that can sear or boil water very quickly. So maybe if you're into eating stuff like sashimi, or you want to cook steaks in the house, or you want to be able to boil large pots of water for pasta, you're going to want that high performance.
I think that's a great consideration too. Oftentimes you go buy an oven and you want to make something like a seared piece of meat or a wok fried dish, and the BTUs aren't hot enough. The temperature doesn't get hot enough when you're on the stove. Anybody have a stove that just doesn't get quite hot enough and everything's sort of gray?
Yeah, or you
Juliet, right?
You
Juliet
can't make
here.
the stir fry like
No.
the restaurant does. So,
Yeah.
so you're saying if you want to have that restaurant chef experience, then make a note of that. That's the kind of appliance you should have.
Definitely.
Right. What are some of the innovations in terms of speed? I mean, it feels like we want something faster. We want to be able to whip up our Thanksgiving and Christmas meal, so everything comes out synchronized, but yet we don't want to compromise taste.
Exactly. I think the second oven in a kitchen setting is what people want most, especially people.
A second oven.
A second oven who like to cook a lot. One thing we offer at G is the Advantium. It's an incredible product. What it can do is it can cook oven quality food in about a quarter of the time, depending on what you're cooking. In fact, Ann, our chef here today, did 2-inch filet mignons in about 15 minutes with no preheating.
Wow.
And they came out better than I can do them on my barbecue at home.
Well, yeah, we were back at the GE headquarters, and we got to taste some of that stuff and cook with it.
And they cooked a whole chicken in like 10 minutes. I mean, it was crazy. And
So
and
Thanksgiving.
and it's crispy, which was so unusual
Yeah,
for a microwave.
explain how it works. So it's cooking from 4 sides. Unlike the microwave that's just kind of zapping, this is toasting and searing and...
It's actually cooking with light.
Yeah.
This is a far away from the original Easy Bake Oven, which was just a light bulb, I believe.
Exactly. This is halogen lights, along with European convection cooking, as well as a microwave, all working together to create oven quality food in about a quarter of the time. The incredible part of the Advantium, I mean, it's for families like mine with kids, like you were saying, 3 kids, who you have no idea when you walk through the front door what you're going to cook for dinner, but you know you got to have it ready pretty quick because everyone's hungry. And Advantium is the answer to that whole scenario.
Okay. Well, when we come back, we want to talk about more of the other kind of appliances that you need to have to accessorize your kitchen. That's the speed oven solution. But what about the dual fuel range? Because for me, I like to have the even component of electricity as well as that fast gas burner, to saute. And of course, we can't forget refrigerators and dishwashers. And so we want to get some of your input on all the different things. And price point, does it really matter? Do you get what you pay for? Do you have to worry about the most expensive thing or not, right? That's
Exactly.
always important to think about.
And the quiet dishwasher, I can't wait to hear about this.
I know, it makes you want to
all
cuddle
these
up to it.
pictures of little babies with their going like that. I never realized it was a problem, but I guess it is.
Exactly. You can do your dishes while the company's still over. So if you haven't checked it out, go to cindykitchenproject.com and you'll see pictures of the kitchen in the process. We're now entering week 4, and we're about to launch the new video that shows our selection of appliances. That'll be coming up later tonight. So don't go away. You're listening to Home Wizards. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole. We're broadcasting live from the Pacific Sales
Yay, San
in
Dimas.
San Dimas. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about appliances and what you should think about if you are perhaps considering having some guests over for the holidays. Who isn't? Now's the time. October happens to be National Kitchen Month. So whether it's hot or it's cold, you can count on us to improve your life and improve your home. We're back after this.
It's almost like you're riding a little pony.
It is, because Well, things are hot and crazy
Yeah,
here.
they
We're
are.
in San Dimas at the Pacific Sales. Eric Stromer. Hey, everybody. Cindy Dole. This is Home Wizards on KFWB News Talk 980, where we love to help you improve your home and your life. We think that home improvement, it really is life improvement because, heck, when you start to do those little things or big things, it just kind of feels good. Don't you agree?
I love it, and I got to tell you, the people of San Dimas, they've shown up in full costumes.
Well, all Southern
Look
California,
at all the
they're all here.
There's witches and skeletors, and it's crazy down here.
Crazy. Well,
oh my
that's
goodness.
because we're going to be talking about some Halloween goodness in the next segments to come. But right now we're talking about appliance choices and shopping because, after all, we're here surrounded by everything from sinks and from washers and dryers to dishwashers and ovens and microwaves and refrigerators, and the list goes on. And with us is Josh Redditch. He's a regional sales manager with GE. So thanks for hanging out with us, Josh. And you saw my before kitchen, right?
Yes.
You saw my Magic Chef 1970s circa wall oven.
I did.
Does Magic Chef still make ovens? Are they still out there? I don't even know if they're
Magic
around.
Chef was given away by all the game shows back in the 70s. That's why it's exciting to me.
It is. I mean, it definitely. People are saying I'm going to give that away on eBay or sell it on eBay because it is kind of vintage. But we are moving on to a whole new set of appliances as we are kind of moving forward with this complete kitchen remodel project. But Josh, as people are thinking about their setup in their kitchen, you talked about how you use your cooking, how you use your kitchen, how you cook, or if you don't cook, right? If you want speed, think about that in terms of fast cooking. But what about the wall oven? What about something for a big meal? Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Well, for a big meal, we have our double wall ovens, and then we were talking about the Café range that you're going to actually put in your kitchen.
This is the dual fuel, which has the gas top, the cooktop, but then the electric for the oven, so you have both experiences, right?
Best of both worlds, as they
Yeah.
like to call
So
it.
we think that cooking, in terms of baking, the electric aspect is better.
Because it has an evenness
It's more
to
effective, more efficient.
Exactly, more even.
Okay.
And so for our Thanksgiving turkey, we would put that
Exactly.
in that oven. I see.
You can convection bake that in there, and then on the top, like I said, we have the 20,000 BTU burner that goes down to simmer.
Which is very much a chef experience, isn't it?
Very much restaurant.
Very competitive, right?
style,
With a
yes.
lot of these other brands.
So those types of burners are showing up in a less expensive or medium range price stuff as well. It's not only for that executive chef kind of a scenario. Now we can get it as consumers a lot easier, yes?
Definitely.
Well, we
good.
want it because we watch those food shows, right? And we go out to great restaurants and
And
we
then
say,
I
wait a
try
minute.
it at home and mine's gray and stringy, for example.
What's
So
gray and stringy?
When I saute something or,
It's
know.
not
It
gray and
is. It's like
stringy.
Juliet was saying here in the
No.
audience. She makes things, they saute and they're gray and no one
Oh,
wants them anymore.
okay. That
So
doesn't
I'm
sound like
glad that this is available now.
Yeah. So the oven is something to think about, right? Price point. Does that matter? I mean, yes, it matters to our budget, but does it matter in terms of what we get?
Yes and no. I mean, price
it-
point definitely matters when you're trying to get the quality and the features you're looking for, but you don't have to spend a ton of money to get those restaurant quality features, especially in the line like the Café line. We can now have the high output burners, the extra large oven. We have the self-cleaning racks. We have double oven configurations. A lot of different features that you use every day that are the nice features, but in a moderate price
What is
point.
that price point, roughly? Kind of give us a range. I mean, a range, no pun intended.
Bob, boom.
Well, you can get a whole cafe kitchen for right around $7,000. All the pieces, they're all restaurant inspired with restaurant-like features for your kitchen, and that's pretty inexpensive considering some of the ultra premium brands. I mean, just the range alone is going to cost you about $7,000.
And up, right? Some of
And
the
up,
big
yes,
brands,
they do
I
go
mean,
up.
it can go up like $10,000, $20,000. Some of these are sports cars,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
But I do hear from folks that sometimes they over buy. Sometimes they surround themselves with appliances that are so complicated. Well, like you and your thermostat.
Yeah, well,
You don't use it.
I remodeled so many kitchens for high-end clients over the years, and it was more about fashion, to be honest with you. These were folks that were professionals in the entertainment industry, and they never cooked or ate.
Impressing somebody else.
Exactly.
It's like the car thing.
They had to have a brand that made people walk in the house and go, oh, you've got X brand, you must be really interesting and cool. And the reality is they weren't even plugged in and no one hooked the gas up.
Really?
Yeah, so you definitely want to make sure that you're buying that's something suitable for your budget and you're really going to use it. I think it's really important.
That kind of feels
to know that.
wasteful, doesn't it?
It
Just
really
to have
does.
that as a furniture item.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, let's segue into refrigerators because refrigerators can be one of the most expensive things in your kitchen.
Yeah, definitely.
right? It certainly can be the most energy-consuming thing in the kitchen.
Well, our new line of refrigerators are actually Energy Star.
Right.
So
I
they
mean,
do
if the old days, before you got the
before the
Energy
old days,
Star,
definitely.
the refrigerator could be the guzzler of the kitchen, right?
Definitely. It definitely is the
Right.
guzzler of the
Right.
kitchen.
So talk about energy efficiency with the refrigerator.
Well, we have a couple different configurations. We have the side-by-side, counter depth, full depth, and then a bottom freezer, which is full depth bottom freezer.
You like
They're
bottom
all Energy
freezers?
Star.
I do.
Not bottom feeders, bottom
I
freezers.
like them too
Yeah.
if they pay. No, but I think that the bottom freezer is really good for families, and I have the side by side, and you go and you pull out the thing from Trader Joe's, and then the avalanche occurs, and the fries are on the floor, and everything's spilling everywhere. If it's contained on that bottom freezer, I think it's really handy and convenient. Do you find that? Is that what you're going to get?
I love the bottom freezer. Yeah, we used to have the upper freezer, but for whatever reason, it just feels like I can see what's going on in there better.
Well, if you think about your life, you're
Yeah.
into the refrigerator a lot more than you are in the freezer. So when you open the refrigerator door in a bottom freezer, you have all your fresh fruits and vegetables right at your, waistline, so you're not bending over to get them. And then in the freezer, if everything you're looking down on it, you can kind of file it away, pizza boxes, frozen French fries, stuff that he was saying earlier, and kind of make it easier to find. So like he said, it's not like you're opening the door and everything's falling out.
And then the ergonomics of kitchen design is really a huge thing now. Do you find that in terms of GE making their design ideas on these appliances, they're starting to honor the kitchen designers and what these people have created over the years?
Yeah, we work very extensively with kitchen designers. In fact, you guys went back to Louisville, Kentucky. They actually invite a group of kitchen designers in every week a couple times a year.
To give feedback, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
all over the country.
All
And
over the world.
All over the world. That's true, because we do have a lot of European manufacturers of cabinets and such, and they bring them back, and they understand design and ergonomics and all the other stuff that goes into actually designing the kitchen.
And just for our listeners, so you guys understand, they actually fly you there. You eat food for free. They make gourmet meals, and you're like in a hotel, and it's the most unbelievable experience. I'm enormous. Everybody, you see, I used to weigh 59 pounds. Now I'm 250 pounds. Round of applause for my weight gain. Thank you.
So the refrigerator price point, what can that be? What can we expect? Different brands. I mean, from all over.
Well, with GE, you can buy something all the way. We have one on the floor here from $495 on up, depending on what style and how big it is and what it can do for you. But anywhere up to $3,000.
Wait, you said $7,000 for the entire collection of these appliances? Do you realize how amazing that is? Because a traditional remodel for a kitchen is about $30,000.
Right.
7,000. This
That's
is something
huge.
you guys ought to take
The
a look at.
dishwasher, we only have a couple minutes. The dishwasher, the new feature is what? That you don't have to rinse the plates.
Well,
because that's a battle that I always face with my husband is how much pre-rinsing do you do
My
before
dad washes the dishes and then puts
Exactly. But now you want them to be dirty, right? Let it perform.
Exactly. You can put them in there, just brush the food off with a fork into the trash, put the dishes directly in there. And the best thing we have now, or our newest features, you can actually put in 2 months supply of detergent.
I thought you were going to say 2 months supply of dirty food.
No. 2 months
Boy, that's
supply
some pretty.
of detergent.
That's Eric's place.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
2 months supply of detergent, and it automatically dispenses.
That's
Wait,
awesome.
really? So it's like Pez dispensers?
Kind of like that.
Oh my
yes.
goodness.
So you don't have to think.
Yeah, it definitely, and it'll actually perform better because it gives you detergent every time the dishwasher fills, and
Great.
for 2 months you don't have to worry
Tell
about.
everybody at the website where people can kind of investigate all these different things.
Well, definitely geappliances.com.
That's good. And there you have it.
There you have it.
That's all you need, basically.
Café
and what is your
monogram.
cell phone number so people can call you?
And I guess you're in seam and waist size for pants for presents around the holiday season.
Well, great to have you, Josh Redditch
Well, thank you
with
guys
GE.
very much.
And you check out also, you can see the development of our kitchen at cindykitchenproject.com. I can't wait for you to see the final product. It's coming in a few weeks.
I'm excited.
All right, well, coming up next as we broadcast Home Wizards from Pacific Sales in San Dimas, we're going to segue into Pumpkin Land. Boy, do we have pumpkins.
And do you know how many people brought me pies today? Exactly none.
Well,
what is happening,
we don't
people?
want pies.
We don't?
No, we don't want pies.
Okay.
But we do want pumpkins. And wait till you hear about the different ways that we have power tools.
Yeah, wait,
Hello?
hold on.
We got a need for power tools.
Yeah,
wait
we're
till you
gonna
hear
make
about
stuff.
what we've done to drill these babies, to carve them, to gently.
Audience, the most beautiful pumpkins you ever seen.
I think they're great.
Yeah? Huh?
We got some ideas next
Thank you.
to get you ready for your Halloween Cindy Dole, Eric Stromer, Home Wizards on KFWB News Talk 980.